I am back from the gym. Solid workout and just did like full body, which was fun. But I want to talk about how to be a real Christian, how to be transparent, and how to be relatable to people that are Christian and are not Christian, and that you might show the gospel and show Jesus in a much more real and sincere way. I think I'll start off just one of the reasons why I'm so transparent and real is because the way I came through Christ was watching. It was more than hearing the gospel, but it was actually seeing it in Jesus work in different people's lives. But also there was a musician who was a rapper and everything like that. And sometimes your parents, I don't know, you see your parents in a way, so it's hard to see them, you see that God is real with them. But for me, I think it took a little bit more, and it took this musician, and he literally just lived out his walk. And I watched this interview with him where he just started kind of breaking down, crying, just talking about the battle that he was going through, but that God was so real, and God was just doing all these things. And I had to see something that was real for me to be convinced that maybe this Jesus is real. So people pay attention to your life, and people watch you, and they watch the God that you serve. So you watch the God and how you serve him and how you walk with him. So for me, coming into Christ and coming into a relationship with God, I needed to see something that was real, not just something that people talk about. So I take this approach with everything in my life. And one of my favorite things to do is to share my story with people, to share my testimony with people. If you're new to this channel, you don't know, I was heavily addicted to pornography for most of my life. And I was around 16, I started getting into smoking weed and going to school high and smoking before school. And I started going down the path of psychedelic drugs, and I just was going further and further, trying to fill holes that only the Lord could fill. And I tried a lot of things. I tried women, I tried sex, I tried a lot of things to try to fulfill something in me that only God could fill. And I talk about my story because I show now I'm being healed, God is healing me as I'm going along, and I'm seeing that I'm truly loved by God, and that he truly sent someone to die for me, and that he must think I'm something special, and he must think I'm something valuable. When I learned this truth, I realized that I don't need those things to try to fulfill something in me, because I realized that I'm already loved. And when you're already loved, you don't have to do things to try to make yourself feel like you're loved for a temporary moment. So I try to present this in the most honest and the most undeniable way, in such a real way, so people know that Jesus is real. A lot of the videos that I release on YouTube and a lot of the music that I make just comes from a real place. It just comes from my walk with God. And Christians, I think, sometimes stray away from being so real and being so transparent and being so vulnerable, maybe because they feel like they'll be judged, or they feel like it's just too vulnerable, it's too open. But there is a price you have to pay, because it is vulnerable and it is scary, but the Lord is so with you, and he so loves you. And if you press into him, if you spend your time in worship and spend your time reading, you'll see how much he loves you. And you'll see even if they say, oh, look at him, oh, he's talking about all these deep things, you start to grow a pain for them, because they don't feel like they can talk about it, and that's trapping them. But also you'll just grow the heart of God for that person. Yo, I want to share, even if I don't get anything in return, even if they criticize me, I just want to share because God has put this in my heart, and he's filled my heart. And it's a beautiful place to be, because I was once a selfish person, and I didn't really want to talk about my feelings or my problems or anything like that. And just a man in society, it's not that common. It's becoming more common, I think. But I think as Christians, if we truly press into God, if we truly press into who we are, and knowing that we're loved by God, we can share to this world. And I'm telling you, I released a video on how Jesus broke my pornography addiction, the most Christian title ever, how Jesus broke my pornography addiction. It's literally could have came straight out of the Bible. And I kid you not, and this is what's supposed to happen. There's so many unbelievers on that video that are I'm an atheist, but I resonated with this video so much. Thank you so much. I'm an atheist, I don't know God, but I'm gonna try out the things that you said. Or I want to know God from knowing this video. even with the music, there's a lot of people that say like, I'm not a Christian, but you know, I really like the words that you say. I really like the things, because they see something is real. And I think there's something happening where people are just wanting something real. They don't want anything fake anymore. They don't want this, superficialness. And I'm out in Los Angeles, and I definitely sometimes can feel like the superficialness to a walk of faith. It's like, are we really pressing in? Are we really going for what God has for us? And another reason why I think it's so powerful to give like your testimony and to be transparent and to be real is because there's a scripture that says like, they overcame by the blood of the Lamb, the word of their testimony, and they love not their lives to the death. And I think it's something so powerful when you speak what you're going through, even while you're going through it, and then also afterwards when God has brought you out. But even while you're going through it, I think is a lot very powerful too, because it shows that you're weak. And I want to let you guys know that it's okay to be weak, and it's okay to not have everything figured out all the time. Like, God didn't call us to have everything figured out. It's called faith for a reason. Like, He's the one that has it figured out. And so we walk with a mentality of like, God, I know there's a whole whirlwind of stuff going on around me right now, but I just want to keep my focus on, I want to keep my gaze on you. I want to be in love with you. And through that, and then through others seeing that, they say like, wow, I can keep my gaze on God. It's possible. It's not easy. It's hard, just as me as a single man, and like trying to just keep my gaze on Jesus and nothing else. And it's not always easy. Temptation comes, lies come, but it's just the point of just being real and letting people see your heart and not being afraid. And honestly, I'm sometimes scared too, to share my heart and to share the deepest things of my heart, because I'm like, it's a growth thing. So you don't have to come straight out the gate sharing your every single small detail about your life, but you know, as the Lord leads, and like as He gives you the grace and the faith to do it, as you press in, you'll start sharing more and more things, because you'll just see like, hey, I'm actually free. So there's still things about my life that I still want to share, and like I want to grow in grace for. But I think being real as a Christian is very important in this time and day. Like being transparent, being not fake, and letting the world see your scars, letting the world see that you're still being healed. It's a part of the process. It's a beautiful process of sanctification that a God who loves humans wants to do. So hopefully you guys understand this video. Hopefully you enjoy it. So little update. For those that live in Los Angeles and London and Manchester or Birmingham, keep a heads up. So I'll do London first, because actually I'll do San Diego. San Diego, I'm having a worship night on March 13th. If you want to find tickets, it's free. It's on lordschildworldwide.com. London and Birmingham, I'm coming there next week to come and have a couple tour dates, worship nights, and just hang out with you guys. And that'll be March 19th and March 20th. So if you want to find tickets for that, go to Gospel Hydration on Instagram. That's just gospel, how it's spelled, and then hydration, how it's spelled. And yeah, I think there's still tickets for that, so you can guys go cop up. And then I'm heading to LA again for part 3 with Mark Barlow, Antoine Bradford, and ISOY. And that's gonna be in Whittier, California, which is like Los Angeles County, and that's April 18th, and that one is free as well. So you can go to lordschildworldwide.com. We have merch coming soon, or like soon on the site. Right now we're just restocking up, but we're selling it also at the worship night. So if you guys live in Cali, come through. And shout out to the people that have like, Cali's like one of my biggest places where a lot of people know me at. So shout out to the people that come up and say hi. Don't be afraid. I know some people are like, oh, I'm scared to come up and say hi, but I love to say hi, love to shake your hand. Bless you, and yeah.